Okay, so we are seeing the 6th chapter. Any questions, clarifications? I think the 7th was. 6th was we completed. Yeah. 7th also. 7th also. Okay. Yeah, 7th also. Any questions, clarifications, or simple enough? You know, one thing here that he says in what we saw last time, Uddhared Atman Atman, that becomes a very crucial point in understanding of Vedanta. Generally, when you have a lot of bhakti, etc., we underplay us. So God is everything, I am nothing. Guru is everything, I am nothing. There is too much of running ourselves down. Who's ringing the bell now? As I was saying, there is very often this thing of playing ourselves, putting ourselves. Humility is a beautiful value. There is a big difference between humility and putting ourselves down. There is a need of a very healthy self-esteem for the study of Vedanta. Because in Vedanta, you're trying to say that you are everything. And if you say, I am nothing, how is it going to work? There is a need for a healthy self-appreciation, for recognizing what I'm worth, okay, for realizing that I matter, I'm someone whom I can value, that I can be assertive, I respect others, I respect myself. That as other people's rights are important, my own rights are also important. Yeah. I have a certain degree of self-awareness. I'm a responsible human being. I follow a certain value structure. All this becomes important. Yeah. Details of the self-esteem workshop, you'll find it on my vedicwisdom.in. Yeah. It's geared as a 2 or 3 day program. How to fit is important, because if I say I'm nothing and I'm saying you are the consciousness which is the basis for the whole creation, how do you reconcile the two? To have a healthy ego without being egoistic is necessary. It's a healthy, awareful ego that becomes a student of Vedanta. All this thing of putting down ego, cutting ego, etc., doesn't really work, because the ego is a functioning learning entity. The ego is the one that's going to learn Vedanta. Who's the one learning Vedanta? The one who thinks I'm a limited entity. Therefore, to have a healthy self-esteem, at the same time, not take oneself too seriously. To take the commitment to the study, etc., but not take yourself too seriously. To be able to stand a joke, some self-criticism, okay? To be able to shrug off things. Okay. Like I use that Gujarati word sometimes. Reva de. That part of it becomes important in the study. Okay. Then he had also said how the mind is your friend, your enemy, etc. And then jitatmanaha, sitoshna dukkeshu, mana apamanayo, samahitaha. Okay. All that we had seen. Then you always find in these verses what is fact is being revealed, and sometimes the person who is like that also being described. So it's meant more for me to check up, hey, how close am I getting there? Okay. So in the next verse he says, Jnana Vijnana Triptatma Kutastha Vichita Indriya Yuktaha iti Uchyate Yogi Maloštashma Kanchana. Jnana Vijnanena Triptatma. Jnanam Vijnana means the same thing. But when used together, it means not only what I have learned from the teacher, from the Shastra, but what I have validated. The teaching has to be validated. You can't say, the teacher has said, Mera guru ne bata diya aisa hai. In a discussion in Rishikesh, that's the last argument. Mere guru ne bata diya. Then he won't discuss further. You let him escape. But his guru has told him that from whatever standpoint is between him and his guru, let him. If the guru has something, I have validated it in my life. The guru has validated it in his life. Have I validated it? That's important. Therefore, jnana vijnanena tripta. The person, Atma is the person. Jnana vijnanena tripta. Satisfied with the knowledge, with the teaching, and him validating it. Such a person, jnana vijnanena triptatma. Kutastaha vichide indriya. Kutastaha. There's a description of the Atma actually, Kutastaha. What is it? Kute iva tishtati. Kute iva tishtati. Like the Kutaha. What is a Kutaha? Kutaha is an anvil. The old-fashioned smithy shops where you'll go make a knife, a chisel, like those type of stuff. So there's an anvil there. So the guy will take a piece of iron, heat it up until it's red hot, and he'll keep it on the top of the anvil and go bang, bang on it to get the shape you want. The anvil doesn't change. Whatever is on top of it changes. Similarly, the Atma, don't change. The Atma doesn't change. My mind better. To have this knowledge. The consciousness, changeless. On me, all changes happen. Kutastha. Or Kute Tishtati iti. Kute, in all the changing things, in all this so-called limited things, body, mind, etc. Kute Tishtati. Aham Tishtati. Where will you find the Atma? Where the Ahankara is, there the Atma is. Ahankara is a notion of the Atma. So when you understood the truth of that notion, that's it. Therefore, Kute, in this finite mind, body, finite ideas about yourself, there, the consciousness is manifest. Your Ahankara is manifest in the light of the consciousness, isn't it? What is Ahankara? A notion of who you are. What is Ahankara? A misunderstanding of what you are. A concept of what you are. I am like this only. And sometimes that changes into what to do, I am like this only. That I am like this only is the Ahankara. And in that, I am like this. What is there? Limitless consciousness. Therefore, Kuti Tishtati iti. Two meanings. Kutavat tishtati or Kute tishtati. Okay. The first Kute Iva tishtati is annual. The second is all your finite things. Okay. Second Kuta means all the finite things. How does the same word have different meanings? Because there is Sanskrit. Dhatoho anekartvatvat. That was Patanjali's last rule of interpretation. Patanjali was sitting under a tree and teaching his famous sutras and the Bhashya on the sutras, Parani sutras. Suddenly the student says, Vyagraha, Vyagra. Vyagra means a tiger. So Patanjali thought he's asking for the meaning of the word Vyagra, the Yutpatti meaning. Visheshena asamantat granati. He'll come close and smell. That is meaning of Vyagrahara. By that time, the tiger came and got the story. The tiger comes and catches. In the mouth of the tiger, gives his last. I'm not wrong. Dhato ho aneka. Because a dhatu can have more than one. Okay. So kutaha, kutastha has both the meanings. Okay. All right. Therefore, kutastha, vichitendriyaha. One has mastered the mind and sense organs. Why? Hey, I'm the consciousness, mind and sense organs are instruments in my hands. They're just instruments. Mind tells it what. I tell the mind what to do. Mind doesn't tell me what to do. Vijitendriya. Sense organ demands. Okay, get up. After class. Okay. That type of ability. Vijitendriya. When that person is exposed to the knowledge, what happens? Yuktaha iti uchyate yogi. Such a yogi is yuktaha. Yukta means it's together with this knowledge. The knowledge and this person is not different. Normally, the knowledge seems in some corner of the mind, out of sight, out of mind. When I think of Vedanta, I become a Vedanta. Saturday to Saturday, What happens other times? Times and lost year, there's so much to do, you don't know. Living in Bombay is not easy. You have to run a house, this, that, etc. I also do. I mean, I don't do house run by it still. You see the mess that is there in the house. Last 2-3 days, I've been having too many visitors. Everything is messy around. Let it run. Most people don't say anything. Because, I mean, Guru, kya bolega? House is messy. There's one group of people who are very, very happy when they come and see the mess. All your kids. Amma, Swami can keep it like that. I can also keep it. See, there is purpose for everything. And such a person is yuktaha. Together. Yogi, he's a yogi, he says. And now he gives another example. Sama, loshta, ashama, kanchana. Okay. Sama, he's the same. What? Two, loshta. Loshta is a clump of earth. Ashamaha, a stone. Kanchanaha, piece of gold. Is samam. That means to say, I can give him a stone and take a piece of gold from me. Na? If he's samam, he should be like that. What do you think? Wisdom makes you a fool out. If you want a piece of gold he has, and yeah, you ask him, he may give it to you. ठीक है यार, मैं क्या करेगा? That's a different thing. The idea is you see the same in everything. You see that existence, consciousness in it. You know, earth, earth is a clump of earth. If you want to do some replantation work, then that earth clump of earth is very useful. Put the seed into it, put it in and throw it into the wild. It'll become a tree. Objective use. A stone is also very good. Very useful. It depends on what you want to use it for. Gold also has its objective value. अरे आशा मानने के sell that gold, you get enough money to appreciate the objective value, not to have a shobana adhyasa. This is where the problem comes. This is where people lack vairagya. Money, easiest example. What does money do? Money is what money does. It gives you financial independence, gives you the ability to get a few things done. Good. But we load it with security. Financial security, yes, nothing more. Not emotional, not happiness. No. Comfort, yes. Of course, money can buy you comfort. Can it buy you happiness? But we load a thing with values that are not there. Not doing that is vairagya. Objectivity. Objectivity. You don't have to say, मैं महात्मा हूँ, पैसा नहीं छुएगा. That is for impressing the masses. We are Mahatma like that. No, I don't have a bank account. One of my Guru Bhais, I don't have a bank account. People come and give you money, I see you give it. No, I give it to my friend, he puts it into his account. And when I need it, he gives it to me. I said, champ, have you ever thought he has to pay more taxes because all the money that's going into his account? सोचा कभी? Have you thought about it that way when someone wants to give me a big donation, I have to put it into a trust. At least we'll get a tax exemption. Small donations you can give me for my living. But big donations put it into my trust. No? Tax exemption मिलेगा. Be objective. मैं पैसा नहीं छुएगा. There's another Mahatma going about giving talks, very popular guy. In fact, both of us were giving talks with one of the companies I know. He was invited for a one-time talk. I was regular taking sessions every 6 months, 3 days. Every 6 months, 3 days I was with them. So the owner, comes CEO of the company, tells me, he was a great Mahatma, man. He doesn't touch money. And where is he coming? Where are you getting him from? Ahmedabad. So I'm sure you're buying 2 tickets, not one. Yeah. Why? Because he has to travel, na. He has to pay the cab driver. He has to buy a cup of tea in the flight. He has to buy something. All that, who is going to handle the money? He won't touch money. So he has to have an assistant with him who will do all this. He's costing the company double. It is like Gandhiji's poverty. The party had to spend a lot of money to keep him poor. You're traveling by ship from Bombay to London for the round table conference. Cold here out at sea. Wear a sweater, bundle yourself up. That's what sane people will do. No? Wear socks, shoes, gloves. I will be dressed like that only, like the poorest Indian. So now what did they have to do on the ship? Heat up the whole cabin. And those days, heating the cabin was expensive proposition. And for 1 month, not just one of you days, not 1 or 2 days. You had to heat up the whole thing. Are you seeing what I'm trying to say? This is not objectivity. This is not science or wisdom. It's creating an image for yourself. Works for you, it works for you. People are willing to buy it, buy it, buy it, buy it. Error को क्या करना है? रहवा दे. Why are you saying it here? Well, my people won't fall for something like this. That's why. Yeah. It makes no sense. All these things makes no sense. I mean, this becomes an organized thing also, like in Haridwar. Uh, Sadhus go for bhiksha from ashram to ashram in groups. Okay? Called Madhukari. You'll go, you'll eat one roti here, you'll take a fruit there, you may take a sweet somewhere else. So you spread yourself so that every ashram can show their devotees that, hey, we are feeding sadhu. There are two normal groups. People, so sometimes they'll give you some dakshina, you'll have gratefully accepted. Yeah, dakshina for a sadhu is important. Why? Where are you going to get your soap, toothbrush, toothpaste, and all from the dakshina money? They're living like that. But there is one group of people, small group, they're called Bhairagis. Bhairagis. They won't accept any debt. If you have to give them something, you'll have to give them a blanket, you'll have to give them an umbrella. Hey, हम लोग को बख्शना ₹2, ₹5, those days, $2, $5, and all was very great. It was enough to buy soap and things like that. But those days, a blanket would cost $150. Being a Bairagi was more expensive for the devotees. What Vairagya is that? Really, in my mind, that is not Vairagya. Just a front you're putting up. Doesn't gel. For someone like me, that doesn't gel. For someone who knows the truth, it doesn't gel. That's not Vairagya. That's just taking a stand. If I'm giving them benefit of doubt, I'll say even say taking having a discipline, maximum. I find it difficult to say that. You know, चलो लेकिन ठीक है. Yeah. These are not Samaloštashma Kanchana should be taken in a different understanding. Elsewhere we had seen it. Vidya Vinay Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastani Samadarshanaha, etc. We had seen that. Okay. What is samam in everything? Samam tu nirgunam Brahma. That he recognizes in everything. Whether it is gold or a lump of clay or a stone, what is common in all of them is that existence consciousness. Recognize that. Whether there is a scholar or a dacoit, both are nothing but one existing consciousness. Recognize that. A sadhu or a terrorist. Okay? To recognize what is there is one consciousness. You deal with the sadhu differently, you deal with the terrorist. That's functioning. That is function. So functioning, you have to deal with it differently. You recognize both as one consciousness. Your hands are also your body, legs are also your body. You will use your legs for walking and your hands for eating. Will you use the other way around? After all, I see the same. They are both same, my body. No, no. The functioning differences are there. They're all part of you, but functioning differences. Every part is its own functioning. Similarly, people, everything has their own way of functioning. Or you recognize the same in every part. When you hunt down a terrorist, it's nothing but pure consciousness. The terrorist that rapes, let me take a term which people loathe even more. Terrorists, you don't have normal day-to-day interaction. You see on the TV, a rapist. Nothing but pure consciousness. Can you say that the rapist is not pure consciousness? He is pure consciousness. Manifest in a problematic mind and body. So that mind and body has to be dealt with accordingly. Lock him up for life. Lock him up. Same way the terrorist. A friend comes, nothing but consciousness. Will give him a hug. The terrorists come. Where is my pistol gone? Where is my soul? Yeah, and naturally, you're dealing with them as they have to be dealt with. That is functioning. One is recognizing, one is function. That recognition is there in your function. But when functioning, you're always dealing with nama rupa, names and forms. You're not dealing with pure consciousness and functioning. Pure consciousness in mantra is what? Avyavaharyam, not available for any transaction. That doesn't come into the transaction part of it. Same thing. You walk into a temple. The deity is there, what? Nothing but pure consciousness. What are you? Pure consciousness. So what do you say? I am greeting myself through myself. There's one Mahatma toxic. Okay. Yeah. Revade, you know what it's all. Naturally, you'll go down. Why? That's a deity there, indicating limitless consciousness manifests in the totality. And this is limitless consciousness manifests in a finite entity. So the finite entity will go down to the total with the understanding that there is nothing but one consciousness. Bhakti can be there, can be at war, you can be anything. I stopped telling my wife, I love you. Why? Because she's also pure consciousness, I am also pure consciousness. We are one. If you are one, what do they need to tell? You say, you better go to Rishikesh.